Hey everyone, what's up? My name is Megan Nilsson, aka Crypto Megan, coming to you from Marbella, Spain. And yesterday I did not get my daily video up because I was actually lecturing at our country club, our private members club here in Marbella, one of the most prestigious clubs in all of Spain, where we're members, and I have the privilege of being able to speak to them every single month about the crypto, the state of the crypto markets, where we're headed, macroeconomic factors, as well as what's going on in the investing landscape and all of that. So we've got some pretty amazing members. Djokovic, the tennis goat, plays at our club. Eva Longoria works out with us regularly when she's here in the summertime. She has a second house here. Michael Saylor just had lunch here, and things are really good. Things are cool. So I get to give lectures to these massive traditional finance companies who are interested in getting involved in the Web3 world. And this is what I've been doing in the physical world. I've been seeing behind the scenes what's going on, being able to interact with some of the internet's most brilliant minds, the industry titans and leaders of crypto, Web3 tech, fintech. And now I'm back in Marbella where I'm based, and I'm back at consulting for these mega corporate clients that want to get involved in Web3. So this truly is a real life test of, can we get this vision across? Can we help them? I'm actively doing what I teach and what I say that people should do, and what I speak about at conferences all around. I'm actively consulting for those clients to help them get ahead. In fact, one of my clients just got acquired by MGM not too long ago, MGM, the casino brand, and things are going really well. So yesterday we had a talk, and one of the things that I'm going to explain in this episode is how you are being lied to. I don't want you to be lied to. I don't want you to be another person that gets sucked into the news cycles and the hype and the emotion of it all. They're trying to create euphoria right now off of ETF news that's been circulating within the crypto world for years. And yes, I understand that it's exciting. Yes, it's a big milestone, but we need to be able to keep those emotions in check. I want you to learn to play chess. I don't want you to let BlackRock checkmate you. I want you to learn to play chess, because you're not another one of the people in the herd. You're here listening to this channel because you want to know how to get ahead, how to get one move ahead, how to predict what's going to happen in the future based on what's happened in the past. History doesn't repeat, but it often rhymes. So today, what I want to do is help you zoom out and see that oftentimes the news cycles come after the charts. The charts are what dictates what will happen with Bitcoin, truly. And so I want to show you some really telling charts now, and the real reason why we pumped to 35,000. It actually wasn't the BlackRock news, and I'll go over some of the top analysts, traders in the space who also explain and break it down very simple to understand where we're at in the cycle. And if you get this one thing right, you will succeed. I want to help you win, and part of winning in this space is having total conviction in what you're doing. And the way you get conviction is by believing in yourself. And the way you believe in yourself is you set a goal, you get a whiteboard, you get serious, and you go for it. You go for it, and nothing will stop you. You will reach that goal if you are determined to do it. 3 years ago, when I started this whole world tour, I reached heights that I could never have imagined because I believed in my ability, I believed in my vision, and I believed in myself. And now here I am, and I have the privilege and the honor of being able to give that value to you now digitally on YouTube, after seeing behind the curtains of some of the biggest corporations in the world. From working with government officials to presidents. Now I'm working with the Spanish Central Bank on a new initiative, which I'll also explain in the video, to allow anyone in the world to pay with crypto for property here in Spain. We are moving forward. I am being that change I want to see, and I know that you can too. And it starts with your own portfolio, with your own goals, with your own dreams. You've got to set that goal and really decide that you are going to go for it at all costs. And do not compromise with yourself. Every single day, you're up, you're ready, you're doing whatever you need to do to get closer to those goals. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Okay, so I'm going to show you today proof of just how exactly they are lying to you in the mainstream media, and they've been doing so for years and years and years. It is a mechanism of control. I don't watch the news hardly ever, and I encourage you to not do it either, and to just do your own research and look into things a little bit deeper, because a news narrative can be spun like this from either side to get you to believe whatever they want you to believe. And if you understand what's happening on the charts and you dig a little bit deeper, you're going to be ahead of 90% of the people in this entire space. So let's uncover that today, and then I'll get into a little bit more of what I believe is going to happen in the near up and coming future. Okay, so BlackRock Bitcoin ETF in August got on the DTCC site that just belatedly moved the market. So as you recall in my video yesterday, just shenanigans. I mean, this thing had supposedly been listed, it had been delisted, and now it turns out that it's actually been there since August, and it's just getting spun into this news narrative, this news cycle that every day more and more I watch, the more and more I believe it's meant to create maximum excitement and euphoria for whatever's coming. I don't know. You know, you guys, I'm just continuing to do my game, my strategy, and stick to my guns here. Because if you let this news get the best of you, you're going to be in big trouble. Okay, so this has been on the DTCC apparently since August. It's just now getting worked into the news cycles. And here's another quote on it. As it turns out, the ETF has been on the website since August, says a spokesperson for DTCC. Crypto traders this week interpreted the inclusion on the page as a sign BlackRock's product must get approved soon. All right, let's just stick to these words here, as a sign. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of cherry picking information that comes in the news, and a lot of news. Of course, we use the news to get the mainstream excited. But then once you're in the space, you know better. We know better. And it's not signs. There are no signs. We just stick to what the charts say, because that's human psychology and human emotion throughout the entire history of our being, right? So, but an ETF appearing there does not indicate anything about its regulatory approval, DTCC said. Being there is just part of the prep work. Getting a ticker symbol and unique ID code known as a QSIP, any ETF would undertake pending U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission approval. So nothing special, nothing special. It feels like we're trying to hang on or grasp these narratives that'll make us rocket to the moon, and we're going there anyway, guys. Like, it just all depends on how we get there. And the news is what makes people's emotions go up and down. And that often comes after the charts. I just want you to get that in your head. So if you take your emotion out of the equation and you stick to your strategy, the news shouldn't matter. Here it says, Phil back. My brothers and sisters in Bitcoin. I spent 6 years managing new ETF launches for the New York Stock Exchange between 2010 and 2016, and about 15 years in ETF product development and management. The DTCC thing means absolutely nothing. Nothing. Get offline and spend time with your loved ones, or AKA go touch some grass, as we like to say in the crypto world. So yeah, it's a lot of hype. Clearly, we are trying to be hype. The news is trying to drive us through hype right now. Why? We don't know. We don't know exactly what's happening in the background, but we can keep calm and collected. Here's more proof, right? So this is the SEC website. The SEC charges BlackRock with failing to properly disclose investments by publicly traded fund advice. So that looks like the news from today. However, this news is from today. So the Securities and Exchange Commission charged them for not disclosing some of their investments. They had to pay a whopping $2.5 million fine. Slap on the wrist. The banks get slaps on the wrist all the time, and life goes on. But this was meant to draw fear and FUD into the mix. Like, oh no, what if this is going to stop it? Why? Maybe that's why their ticker symbol disappeared. None of it's true. Here's another one. The SEC website. SEC charges former BlackRock portfolio manager with undisclosed conflict of interest. Similar news, same thing. This is from January. And this was a $250,000 penalty. This is nothing. These are drops in the bucket, pennies to BlackRock. So I just want to open your eyes to those kinds of things that are happening now. And also to show you, at the end, I'm going to show you some charts from one of my favorite traders in the space, a few clips from his video that he put out, because it really illustrates how a move has been brewing. As Eric Crown said in his trading channel yesterday, shout out to Eric Crown as well. We've been at the lowest volatility since, I think, like July of a year back or something like that. It's been a long time. A very long time. And when the rubber band gets stretched, the rubber band explodes. And whether it explodes to the upside or the downside is based on stochastic momentum, on our momentum in the market, and a lot of other indicators. But all of those indicators said that we were due for a big move. So it is not the ETF news that moved this market. It were the charts that dictated that we were going to have this happen, and the news accelerated that process. That's it. Okay, so I'm going to show you my presentation from yesterday just to just to make sure that you remember what I told you last time about the charts and where we are in correlation to the halving, to the whole cycle. We're going to zoom out. We're going to look at past cycles so you guys can have a better idea. This is my lecture from yesterday at our prestigious country club, where I got to meet all of the massive traditional finance investors that live here in Marbella. One of my clients, which I stated earlier, got acquired by MGM, and they want to know about crypto. They're very beginning and very new to crypto. So I got to walk them through this. So I'm just going to show you a little bit about my background so you understand where I'm coming from and why I've been able to do so well in my career, and how now I'm taking that to YouTube to help you too. So I'm a high-end Web3 portfolio and strategy consultant for investors, companies, and celebrities. I'm not only helping them to invest, but I'm also helping them with their strategies, and also a keynote speaker around the world at some of the biggest tech, fintech, and Web3 events in the world. I have recently been everywhere from the US to Canada to Europe, where I'm based, and most recently to Asia, and the tour is not stopping there. I'll be hosting the Web Summit stage again in November, in a few weeks from now. I'll be running the entire crypto stage, 80,000 plus people, and I cannot wait because there is a lot to unpack there and a lot to discuss, and it's some of the industry's top leaders. I have access to the VIP speaker section where there are presidents with more bodyguards than I've ever seen in my life. So the president of Portugal was there, the first lady of Ukraine, presidents of other countries, prime ministers. There are all kinds of people who are coming together behind the scenes to discuss big moves. And I want to bring those to you because I've seen it and I've been a part of it, and I am a part of those conversations. I'm actually talking to the Central Bank of Spain right now, and regulators and anti-money laundering regulators, to help them understand what crypto is so that Spain can step up as one of the leaders in this movement. And I truly believe it's possible. This is how I've made it this far, because I believe in myself and I believe in my vision. And I hope that after seeing this, you do too, that you believe in your vision and you can go forward. These are some of the people that I've met along the way. This is the Queen of Congo, and I've done business with and helped them invest. This is Tim Draper. He'll be on my podcast soon, billionaire Tim Draper for Draper VC Funds. This is the ambassador of El Salvador. We've actually been invited to interview the president in El Salvador and a tour of Bitcoin City. So how freaking cool is that? A gang war just broke out recently, so we're waiting for the right moment, but that will happen, and I'm so excited for that. Some of the industry's leaders, CZ. I've been to many conferences with Binance, with their top executives and private galas, and I've done a fireside chat with Helen Hyde, the senior vice president of Binance. I'm talking to everybody behind the scenes and looking under the hood, guys. This is the sons of the royal family of Dubai. Michael Saylor, who of course is just the most amazing person in the space, will also be on my podcast. And this is one of the editorials I was shot in a cover shoot for one of the top women in tech magazines in the world by media mogul BizClick. I made it to the cover there. I've been in magazines with Gary Vee. We did a keynote speech together in Dubai. I know there's a lot of Gary Vee fans here, and I'm just showing you this to inspire you, because I started the tour at my country club speaking to traditional finance giants and moguls and people who are in the traditional finance world. And I went on to do some things that I never imagined were possible. I mean, I imagined, but I never imagined where I would get, because it's hard to know when you start on the journey. All you know is that you believe in yourself and that you're going to make this happen. And I did. And I want to inspire you guys to do the same with your dreams. And I'm still going, right? So I've also been able to host exclusive events for companies and funds. And one of the most amazing ones was actually this past June in Paris. And I got to host a conference where Charles Hoskinson was there. We did Twitter spaces together. We got to discuss things that are happening. The CEO of Ledger, the head of Louis Vuitton, MasterCard, Google Cloud, Web3, Amazon, they were all there, all making decisions together in the same room. It was truly incredible. I also have been a judge for Santander Bank, the entire bank. It's one of the biggest banks in the world. I was a judge on their version of the Shark Tank for Europe, investing in crypto companies, scale up. So the bigger ones that are ready to go broader and have a bigger reach. I was helping Santander as a judge for that. I was speaking at Benzinga with Kevin O'Leary, Anthony Scaramucci, and on Wise Guys, which is on Newsmax, one of the biggest channels in the world. And guys, I am just going for it. I am going for it. These are some videos from my tour that I'm going to put a link to this in the description. So if you want to build up your portfolio and your brand and your name like I've done here, I'll give you the blueprint. I'll put it down in the description. Take a look at it, and I hope you get some inspiration from it. This is my podcast. I can't play this video right now, but this is my podcast, and this is my set in Hollywood. I've got a podcast set in Hollywood, one in New York, and one here now in Marbella. And I am going all in on content because I want to bring all of this value to you guys. And these are just some things that people have said about me at these tours along the way, and they really touch my heart. When you guys tell me things, that I've inspired you or that have helped you in some way, it keeps me going. It keeps my fire burning, and that fuel and that desire I have to come out the other side with all of you. So I just really appreciate it. This is the Queen of Congo here. Thank you, love. I've become a big fan of you. You're doing a great job representing feminine power and grace in a space in which women are not present enough. You hear that, ladies? We must keep going. This is some positive news for you after telling you that you've been lied to by the real news, and we're going to win. This is actually a metaverse show that I hosted for high-end fashion designer Vivian Tam. She did a metaverse fashion show in New York. I was actually hosting this metaverse fashion show in the metaverse, but we could talk to people in real life. And guess what? I did some of the best networking of my life. There were celebrities. It was a real red carpet, and I felt like I was there, you guys. And I talked to the head of the whole Heineken brand in the backstage. I talked to some of the biggest people there behind the stage, watching the catwalk live together through the metaverse. It was truly incredible. And this is some of the things that I told them about. Bitcoin is the best performing asset today. This is the kind of thing you need to say to people to get their interest. This is the bigger picture. We've got 420 million users now, and we're set to onboard 3.7 billion new users in the next decade. I mean, how can you think that this asset class isn't going to grow? It's the fastest growing adoption curve in human history, technology adoption curve. So there's no doubt in my mind where we are headed. This is, of course, the picture of the human emotion that I spoke about before. Here they are all lined up. Actually, the ironic thing is that top of 2020 would have been an incredible time to buy Bitcoin at 2021 at 21,000. And then here, 69,000. Probably will look ahead of time, and that'll be a incredible time to buy. But the point is, don't wait for the conviction from everybody else, from the mainstream media that lies to you. You stick to your guns. This is about my investment in Cardano, when I was able to invest in Cardano on under 5 cents and did a 62.5x in under a year. Guess what? We're here again. Not financial advice, but I am preparing to do the same success that I did last time. Maybe not on the same scale, but we are right in that time horizon again. And I discussed this in our other video. And here we are again. I just want to remind you, I'm going to pull this chart up until I'm blue in the face in our 200-day to Bitcoin halving countdown, approximately April 2024. Here we are. Here's the previous cycle. You can't see the other cycle, but it's down here. Same thing, accumulation phase, which could involve a crash, which could involve just moving sideways. Doesn't matter. I don't care about that. What I care about is what happens after that. And look, here we are. This is the halving. Last cycle, we went sideways for a little bit. We had a pump, and then we took off and waited for no one. So had you been waiting for that perfect moment, maybe you would have gotten in up here. Here we are, guys. Here we are right here, like clockwork. What will you do this time? So this is the difference between the debasing of the US dollar that's based on thin air and Bitcoin that is based on a sound mathematical formula that can't be tampered with, it can't be changed, and is hard capped at 21 million. The US dollar, trust me, I've never been audited since 1913, and I have no choice. Audited Bitcoin, audited every 10 minutes on average by thousands of nodes, and anyone can be a node if they want to. And here we have news about Elon Musk. The banks are melting. Bitcoin is the escape route. Then we have another news. Just in, Fed chair. The banking system is safe and sound. Then we've got more news. The U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen situations like run on Silicon Valley Bank, SIVB may more readily happen in the future. Brace for impact. News, guys, news. You decide what's true. So this is just another scenario of where I think we could be by the end of the year based on Steve from Crypto Career University's predictions and also my own charts. But I find that this is a very easy way to see it and understand. This is the pi cycle bottom. He explains that this was our actual bottom and this is our double bottom. I also thought this was the bottom at the time, and I said that it was. It went on to go down to 15,500. Doesn't matter to me. Here we are. We double bottom. We're in this sideways consolidation, and this is the pi cycle bottom chart. And this green area here is our base of the pi cycle bottom, and we very well may come test that bottom. It's not for sure. There's no guarantees. Maybe we don't. But so for me, these are my projections until the end of the year. Our lowest being retesting our base at between 17,000 to 20,000, where we have massive confluence in crypto, would be an excellent spot to rebuild a solid foundation, or at a highest $45,000. But make no mistake, this run is not because of the ETF news. And here's a little more proof they're lying to you.
Next reason we talked about on this channel is the stochastic RSI on the 2-week chart, right? We haven't had a cross since 2022, and the one before that was in 2020, and the one before that was in 2019. They don't happen very often, and we covered it right here in this channel. We said, look at the facts. When we had this 2-week cross back in 2015, 200% gain. 2016, 2000% gain. 2019, stochastic RSI cross on the 2-week, 300% gain. 2020, 800% gain. 2022, 75% gain. We covered it right here on this channel. So not only did we have a 1-week stochastic RSI cross, which is momentum coming in the market, a 2-week, which is very rare, and it happens less than once per year. Clearly, the facts are right in front of you. This is not emotional opinions. These are just bona fide facts. The next reason, which we covered right here on this channel, on the 2-day chart, the RSI was in a downtrend for the entire calendar year. We had resistance in January, resistance in March, resistance in June, resistance in July, September, October, and we just broke through back on October 17th, October 18th. So did the ETF cause this? No, these are facts in the charts. The news will get you in big trouble.
And here's what happened to the gold ETF when the gold ETF was approved and institutional money could finally invest. Up and up and up. I mean, there is no logical alternative for Bitcoin in my mind. And remember, robots can't take your job if you're already retired. Shane, link there. Finally, one of the things I wanted to go over is that I did launch this crypto real estate payments initiative for anyone in the world to pay for property in Spain with crypto. And I've been working on this for so long and so hard. It was actually featured on Netflix, everyone. So do not miss this because it was a big one. We do this tour of this luxury villa here, $5.2 million villa, with actually a good friend of mine who's one of the top developers in Marbella, top quality. It's really, really cool. It's in a really cool location and you can pay with Bitcoin. And man, this has been one of the coolest projects of my life. So I'm currently, HSBC Bank in London is now actually accepting Bitcoin for property and allowing people to take mortgages against it. That is where we're headed. I mean, that is revolutionary. We're not here yet in Spain, but the bank that works on these transactions has relationships with the central banks and all the biggest banks in Spain, and we are working on it. I'm actively working on regulation to help make it crypto friendly and possibly even get a golden visa approved, just like in Portugal, only in Spain. It is an amazing life here, you guys. I'm fighting hard for this. So if you appreciate that, let me know in the comments and let me know if you would ever think about moving to southern sunny Spain, where we have sun 325 days a year or more. Conclusion: 70% of real money, sovereign wealth, and pension plans owes zero crypto. Institutions won't buy crypto because the compliance department won't allow it to because there's no policy in the US. You go long on Bitcoin and you wait. Money is always transferred from impatient to the patient hands. So that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you today for episode number 2, bonus episode, price predictions from all of the top people in the space. Stay tuned.